All right, this is going to be a look at some J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards films. Probably be a long video, to be honest with you, so consider yourself forewarned. This is 18 run plays, and I will digress a little bit and talk about some of our run blocking, some of the surprising things that I saw, that I think we all saw in terms of blocking. The rotation of Cologne and Cleveland, I thought was effective, and I know that not many teams use that rotations with the offensive line. We've now done it twice, maybe 3 times this year. I think 3 times by design, and it's worked. And the rotation of Gus and J.K. is not surprising at all that it worked. I know that we don't have the 100% version of J.K. He was, man, it's so cool that he was upfront about that. Like, I'm not me yet. But I thought those guys went out there and let people know that they can still be effective and carry the team to victory, or at least get us really close to victory. You know, that 3rd and 3 that's at the end of the game that I'll show you here, the last play, it's an interesting moment because there's been plenty of times where we don't convert that. If we replay that if you were to simulate that situation, 3rd and 3, and we run the ball with Gus there, how many times out of 10 do we get it against your above average NFL defense? 6, maybe 7 against your above average defense. Against your good to very good NFL defense, I think that number is 4, maybe 3. So I still think that even though it was successful, and I'm glad that it was successful, and I like the path to victory that we chose on Sunday, but I feel like it was a necessary path. I still think that there has to be situations where on 3rd and 3 we're a little bit more multiple, even when we have Lamar back. Like, I don't just want to see QB counter read and QB power read, which is essentially what we faked running in that 3rd and 3. So let's get to the film. I do have some notes, so you'll maybe hear me flipping pages as we go through this. I missed a couple of the first couple of runs for JK in terms of the plays that I downloaded. Early on, the run game was not that spectacular, I didn't think. I really didn't. I thought we were kind of middling, and we're getting into this trips pistol formation, and we're running 2 plays. And this is, not to digress too much. When I say trips pistol, I mean here's the number 1 receiver, Duve. Here's the number 2 receiver, Andrews. And the number 3, Ricard. So it's trips, and it's closed, meaning tight end backside. So it's 22 personnel, 2 backs, Gus and Ricard, 2 tight ends. And we're running 2 plays. We're either running stretch to this side, outside zone, or we're motioning Ricard, and then we're running the counter wind back behind it. We've got to set people up and run Ricard in motion, and then go with some play action back here, which we have done occasionally. Don't get me wrong. We just didn't show it in this game to my knowledge. Counter wind back, 56 Highsmith just chases it down from behind. Very little gain on a 1st and 10. There's a Dobbins run early that was stretched, kind of like I described, that was 0 yards. There's also a 4-yard run by Dobbins on a wind back that was, somewhat effective. Here's a 4-yard run at a 22 personnel up the gut. Not really much to say about it. Ronnie is pass setting, trying to entice the edge player to get upfield. So watch here. To possibly give Gus a cutback to the backside, but we got no way to block this guy here. Except Linderbaum is so damn good at this combo stuff. Now, he gets blasted there by the inside linebacker, don't get me wrong, but you'll see 2 instances of his ability to combo, number 1, and number 2, his quickness is quite effective later on. All right, this is the big run by Dobbins. Again, there was 2 or 3 runs from earlier in the game where he's, doesn't get a seam. Absolute mistake by the Steelers to put Hayward at the nose. He was in a 3 technique. That would have been much better off. And you see him get blasted on the combo by Cleveland and Linderbaum. It's not that Hayward's weak. I mean, he can't play now, but he's getting comboed. So Linderbaum is engaging him. And then the timing of this, and you see this at all levels of football. If the combo occurs kind of like a jab and then a right cross, jab, right cross, you see the surge that happens because Hayward is already engaging Linderbaum, and then the second guy shows up. And you can see the seam that's developing now. Ricard is on the inside linebacker, Jack, who I didn't think had much of an impact. I thought he looked like a better player on film than he showed on Sunday. But we didn't see much there. 42, 44-yard run by Dobbins really set the tone. I think third possession. First play of the third possession after a horrible punt by the Steelers. You'll see the end zone angle here. So you see him slide over. They were in this like over front where you have a 3 and a canted 1 or 2 eye backside. And then they switch back to a 4 eye and a 0 and a kind of like a Patriots 5, tight 5. And watch Cleveland and Linderbaum. Combo, boom. That's a great job by Cleveland and Linderbaum. And then Ricard gets just enough of 51, who does have an angle, but Ricard stays on him. Stays engaged. Huge seam. We've all seen it by now. Great blocking. Great job by JK. I wish he just sidelined it. I don't know about you. I mean, he did all those moves and still got down to the 4. Just sideline it. I feel like Fitzpatrick's going to make the tackle on maybe the 3 or the 2, or JK's going to get in. Maybe I'm wrong. Great effort by JK. You see the guys, how much they care about him. All right, important play here because it set the tone for later on in the game. Tactical mistake by the Steelers that I talked about in a video Sunday night. All right, so JK, great effort. Right, what's the tactical mistake? You got one inside linebacker here, Bush, and then the other one is lined up as an edge player because they're in their nickel. Right, they're in their nickel with. I guess actually they are in base. My bad. I misspoke on Sunday night and said they were in their nickel. They're not. Here's your 3 interior linemen. There's your left outside linebacker. There's your right outside linebacker. Don't ask me why in the world they are here. Poor, even worse identification than I thought on Sunday night's video. Wow. Great job by Powers. You can see Fitzpatrick knows. He's telling the guys, hold. It is not sweep. Why is he telling them that? Because the back is on the wrong side. If it's going to be sweep, the back is going to lead, and it ain't going to be JK back there anyway. We're not going to put JK back there to lead on the sweep. We're going to put, Gus or someone like that. All right, so great play. Sets us up for the 3rd and 3 later on in the game because we knew we kind of had them. Great job by Powers. Ricard comboing. Moses getting to the backside safety or trying to. And then JK on the second effort. I forget who it was. I forget the guy's name on Twitter. Ravens for Dummies, maybe. Put a cool post up that said, JK is extremely effective inside the 15, and it's something like 6 of his last 11 carries he's scored on. Maybe it's not 6. Maybe it's 4 of 10, but it was a pretty high percentage. I'm screwing up the numbers there, but it was a cool post because it illustrated that, the talent level that JK has and his shiftiness, ability to stay on his feet, solves a little bit of our red zone problems. Frustrating situation here. Edwards for 9 up the middle. Anything where Ricard is going in one direction and we're getting a wind back in the other direction, or even just downhill, straight down the midline, is effective for us. Moses doing a pretty good job on Wormley, I think. Here, digging him out. Again, Wormley's in this like Patriot 5, tight 5. You got a 4-eye here in Hayward. Powers does a pretty good job on Hayward. I thought Powers played well. I know that he gets a lot of crap, but guys playing at a pretty high level on a lot of our concepts. And look at the blowout that you get from Cleveland on the combo. Again, Linderbaum is engaging, and once Cleveland leaves him, Linderbaum starts to lose the guy a little bit. But Cleveland gets up to the inside backer. That's a great job by Ben Cleveland. That guy can play. There is no doubt about it. That guy can play. Right guard. But we've got Kevin Zeitler. It doesn't seem like he's as effective as a left guard, but it's a very small sample size. He only got that cameo last year. Very next play, 16-yard gain by Gus. I don't believe this is designed to go outside. The next play I will describe with JK, I think, is designed where it goes. I think this is just Gus. This is just Gus and vision, seeing it, bringing it back. Now, let me reiterate, or let me rephrase something. The very next play is going to look very similar. Quarterback is opening to this side. Gus is hitting it here. And then you got Ricard on the backside. What I think he's trying to do is, I think he's trying to help out on the D tackle and get a little bit of vertical push on the D tackle on his way to the backside inside linebacker. I don't think it happens on this play cleanly because the D tackle swims Moses. So the guy's lined up inside. He knows Moses is coming down, so he steps outside. Kind of destroys the whole scheme. That's Wormley again. Just a great move by him in this case. But sometimes when you swim on run plays, that's how you give up a huge ass hole. If the offensive lineman's able to just stay on his tracks and let the next guy pick him up. But that's not an easy thing to do. Good job by Oliver getting some contact. Very next play, I think, is the same concept. And you get a cleaner look at the blocking scheme. JK's in now. This is not about JK versus Gus. This is about the defenders not doing the same thing as the last play. Quarterback's going to open there. JK's going to go here. And then watch him bring this back off of essentially the combo that Ricard and Moses get, I think, on this D tackle. You see Ricard blasts him on the way to the linebacker, and then Dobbins brings it back off of those blocks. I'll let it run a couple of times. I think it's by design. Very similar to some stuff you see the Browns and the Titans do, where they line up with like 2 or 3 tight ends to one side, and they run it here initially, and then what they're trying to do is just create a, let me get this out of here. What they're trying to do is just create a wall, a wall here, so that the back can then bring it back underneath, safely underneath of this wall. Similar conceptually, if you ask me, except it's Ricard doing it and combo into a D tackle. I think he did a pretty good job by Cologne on the nose tackle, working back to the backside inside linebacker with Linderbaum. Backside inside linebacker here fills him, and Linderbaum fall down, or Linderbaum falls down after contact. O-line really dominated. Likely with a decent block. Oliver at least turning Watt out, but watch Watt. He is always stabbing at the football. Even when he's not, quote, like stopping the play. See him punch? I know most of you guys are Ravens fans, so you don't like that, but there is something to be said for that. How many times do you see guys do this? Not a ton. Doesn't seem like. Not a ton. Flag was called there on them, by the way. That was like a 7-yard run by Dobbins and then added yardage for us. Okay, interesting stuff the Steelers are doing. They're in a 5-3. So you got your left outside linebacker, Watt, right outside linebacker, Highsmith, who's a badass, and 3 inside linebackers. Who did this? The Jaguars. They did this to 22 personnel. Well, we have 22 personnel on the field here. Doesn't matter. We are just kicking ass. Counter wind-back. Cologne getting out there. And watch Moses' track, and remember this for later, okay? Look at Moses' track. He's turning upfield inside of the first puller. So you got the first puller is Cologne, and the second puller is wrapping. That's the way it's generally supposed to be. Keep this in mind for later on a run where Moses, I think, doesn't turn upfield, and there's a real opportunity for a big run. JK, just special. You're gonna see a play later where, it's a credit to Linderbaum for back blocking effectively, but JK's agility is awesome. Also, look, this outside linebacker, that's Highsmith. On the inside of Andrews, looking inside. So his visual key is somewhere in here, but his pressure key with his hands is Andrews. He's there to get hands on Andrews because it's a 5-3. Andrews is able to get inside there and prevent him from making the play. Whoop, I didn't mean to fast forward that. Forgive me if I'm running these plays too many times for you guys, trying to give you as many looks at it so that you can see, some of the things I'm pointing out, and you can see some elements that I might be missing. And then point them out in the comment section. Left outside linebacker, Watt. Same play, all 22 angle, by the way. Right outside linebacker, Highsmith. 5-3 look. Spillane is gone. Now, most 5-3 defenses are going to do one of two things with twins. So when I say twins, I mean 2 receivers out here, even though the inside guy's a tight end. They're either going to walk out the outside linebacker, Highsmith, or a lot of the real badass ones, the ones that are a pain to deal with, they're just going to walk out the will linebacker. and line him up over there and keep this edge player in the box so that basically a 5-3 just becomes a 5-2 or 3-4 at that point. In this case, they've walked the outside linebacker out, creating this like odd front that looks like a 4-3 because Andrews is able to dig Highsmith out of there. Pretty cool if you ask me. We set the tone with some of these runs, even against that personnel group. All right, back to your base. 3-4. Now you got this strong safety, 34, who's a much better player than people give him credit for. Stretch to Gus for 5. Watch Watt refuse to, stay on the backside. He gets, a little contact late. He just plays. He just plays hard. But look at what they're doing, all right? Now, some people would say, well, Coach, this is because of personnel, because we got Oliver, a tight end, back here. I mean, it kind of is, but he's head up. He's head up here because they have an inkling that the run is going to be, to this side. Well, they should, because this is all the hell we've done out of this formation is run stretch here or counter wind back here with Ricard in motion. It's really all I saw. I didn't see anything else out of that formation. And there was one later on in the game I thought Gus just read poorly, where there was probably another 5 or 6 yard gain, and he cut it back too far. I think we're better on stretch than a lot of people give us credit for. I do. I think our backs, JK and Gus, can hit it. We've just got to figure out a way to get up to the front side inside linebacker. We're up to the backside inside linebacker. Linderbaum gets up to this guy here, but we don't have a way to get up to the front side inside linebacker as yet. At least on this play. Now, there'll be a 14-yard run by Dobbins on stretch later on where I suspect that we must have got up there, or he just cut it back off of him. All right, same formation. And this is going to be counter wind back to Dobbins, I believe. No motion by Ricardo. That's good. So it's a third play out of that formation. So I was wrong. Happy to be wrong. Still running it to the trip side, though. JK's going this way and then bringing it back. That angle, that line I just drew is not realistic, obviously. Gap scheme. Okay, Ronnie, get out there. Awesome stuff. Because the outside linebacker is apex, look at how wide Watt is. I mean, they're really creating a huge bubble between a 3 technique or a 4-eye and then, what is it, a 13, a 15? All Mark's got to do is dig him out, and he does. Ronnie gets up to the inside linebacker that Ricard had already punched in the mouth. So Ricard's kind of hooking him. Actually kind of missed him. Great job by that inside backer. Watch this angle. I think it's Bush here and then jumps in front of Ricard to almost get away clean. But Ronnie's there to pick him up. 11-yard gain by JK. You can see a little bit of the leg weakness, lack of strength, I guess. It's not lack of strength. That's not the right word. Here, like he's dragging it on the cut. But hell of a game by him. So cool to see, man. I don't know if you guys heard it. He was apparently like emotional on the sideline at some point during the game. Beautiful. Same play, end zone angle. You'll see Ricard go to the backside inside linebacker. And we're going to open here and then wind it back. Run it one time. Then I'm going to show you something Linderbaum does here that's really badass. I hated facing offensive lines that could do this. Like if we gave them a nose and a 3. Now this is actually a 4-eye there. And a 4-eye here. Because you can tell because they're looking at that key. They're looking there. All right, so that key, Stanley's going to pull away. So when that happens, his key pulls away. He's going downhill here. He's following his key. Watch Linderbaum. I hated teams that could do this. The really good O-lines could. Damn, it sucked. Linderbaum is going back on Hayward, and Cleveland's going down on the nose, on the backside. I mean, there's the potential for Hayward to get a tackle for loss. Now, he still gets involved, but it's 11 yards down the field. But look at this. I mean, we're tempting fate by having the back open to the side, and look at this. A penetrating 3 technique looks like could possibly get there. Nope. Because Linderbaum is quick. Now, I think Linderbaum pops up a little bit, me personally, but I think he's popping up to just jab this nose a little bit to help Cleveland and then go back on what is essentially, like I said, a 4-eye, not really a 3. But you can see how closely Hayward came to the running back there. Clean in the backfield. Great job by Linderbaum and Cleveland and Stanley and Ricard. All right, 8th possession here. It's going to be Dobbins for 5, and then Dobbins for 14. I think this one's wind back again. And this is one that I think could have hit big. And you'll get the all-22 in a moment. Devin Bush is there unblocked. Now, they've gone a different route here, if you ask me, they being the Steelers. And they've done this out the 3rd year in a row, I believe. They've got 3 outside linebackers on the field, 56, 98, and 90. Remember earlier I showed you the 5-3 where they had 3 inside backers? I think Bush, Spillane, and Miles Jack. This is a different version of a 5-3. Whatever, maybe you want to call it a 6-2, whatever. Depends on how you refer to Highsmith at this point. He's to the side where we have 2 tight ends. And we're running it there. And we still get it blocked up. If Moses picks up 55, I think JK is possibly gone. Or if not gone, it's 20, 25-yard gain. So, we're not getting 55. Everybody else is blocked up. We kick with Cologne, the first puller. We kick out the edge player. Look at Moses. All he's got to do is pick this guy up. And JK's so athletic, such great vision. Like, come on, you think he's not going to read this and go between Moses and Cologne? You get the all-22. You can let me know what you think. I think this is a potential 20, 25-yard gain here off this left side. Again, winding it back here. Why does it work? We're running it, to the side where they have 2 outside linebackers. How the heck does this work? It's just a down scheme. Just take everybody down and kick someone. Another element to it is Andrews is faking like he's going to touch the OLB and then going out to the corner. This is another reason why I say if we get 55 blocked up, it's a huge gain. Because we've got Andrews out here for the corner. You got a wall here. You can see the wall of white jerseys. If Moses gets maybe his depth. See, Moses is definitely supposed to wrap. Look at his angle. And forgive me if the video stutters when I go in reverse there and then slow motion. Forgive me for that. Need to find a better player next year. Kick out by Cologne. Wrap by Moses. And he just misses the guy. He doesn't see him. I just don't think he sees him. In my opinion, that's a huge gain about to happen against a defensive front that the Steelers were playing intentionally to stop the run. Pretty unbelievable. Look at this. Same situation. I think you got another OLB here. That may not be an OLB. That is an OLB. Yeah, 48. Okay, he's a backup OLB. And we're shredding them. They're in their 5-3. They're in a 5-3-6-2, whatever you want to call it. Here's an inside backer. 3 interior D tackles. Highsmith, 98 coming on, and another OLB. We're just abusing them. That's unbelievable to me. Stretch to the right, 14 yards. Look at Ronnie frame up. Hayward here. Ronnie's dealing with Hayward. JK with the great vision. I mean, he can't bounce it because we missed 48 completely. And then the cut, 14 yards. Edwards for 7. Behind Ricard, I believe it's a lead play. Can't wait till we actually run a little bit of play action. Somebody mentioned in the comments section on another video, and they're absolutely correct. Demarcus Robinson, Deshaun Jackson, if we do pick up Odell Beckham Jr., somebody, we got to work some play action in here out of this formation, out of this personnel group, which is 22. 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. Yes, we did get a surge here. I mean, look at the surge of white jerseys downfield. I'll run it back a couple of times so you can see the surge off the initial push. Great effort by Ronnie. I was concerned when I saw this play. He's engaging Highsmith, and then he's given everything he's got to jump back here on the blitzing safety off the edge to make sure that guy can't get involved. I was concerned, but that's just a guy who's given everything he's got for the team. Huge moment. I think a 2nd and 4, and we got 7 yards. All right. One more look at that one from the end zone, and then One back power play to finish the game on 3rd and 3. Again, I'm glad we got it. I was elated. I watched Coach Evans' video, watched a part of it where he celebrated us getting the first down, and like we all did. And I messaged him. I said, "Man, that's the same way I celebrated. Like, yes, there you go." All right, 3rd and 3, the play of the game, 9th possession. Anthony Brown in, obviously. We're not giving this sweep. Like, we're not giving this sweep. Look at this fake. There's no read there. We're not giving this sweep. This is not QB power read. This is just one back power. I love that Duve is getting involved. We're taking advantage of the way Watt lines up, guys. We are. Look at how wide he is. We don't have to do anything special to block him. Yeah, we have to block him, and Andrews does. He turns him in that direction, away from the play. I also like that Duve kind of turns this up a little bit and then tries to help there. I almost think that's by design on this play. I think that Andrews is trying to push Watt out, and then Duve is trying to get a piece of him. Now, it ends up being Spillane there. Poor job by that. We had ran this play earlier. It's a poor job of allocating your primary resource in a manner that he's not going to defend anything on this play. There's nothing for him to defend. There is no sweep threat. We're not running sweep. The back's on the wrong side. They should have, in my opinion, they should have slammed Watt down inside this gap, made Powers pick him up, make a mess of the whole damn thing, and then keep this guy free. Because Ricard is going here. Powers would have to go after Watt. They should have slammed him down. Slam him down a gap. Boom. But poor recognition. Not as bad, I guess, as JK's touchdown, even though it's the same concept. Or I guess you could say in some ways it's worse recognition because this is a play of the game. It's game over right here. We're good. Cool play call. It's a mess in there, I understand. Great job by Moses digging this guy out of here. Great job by Ricard on Bush winning that matchup. Poor job by the Steelers. I would not expect them to fall for some of those same, quote, tricks the next time we see them, to be honest with you. I'm not sure we're running for 215. May not have to because I understand that we'll have certain guys back. We'll have Lamar back. We'll have Zeitler back. And I who knows what the Odell Beckham Jr. situation is going to work out. It certainly looks interesting now. The Cowboys signing T.Y. Hilton. It looks like it could be down to the Giants, Bills, and Ravens. I don't know why he wouldn't seriously look at the Ravens at this point. When you look at the run game that we have and the defense that we have, it looks like a great situation for the guy to come in and play only in the playoffs as long as we can get in there. Appreciate you guys checking this out. I know I talked about the offensive line a lot. I feel like it was worthy of it. JK and Gus, seeing them back there was just sweet, man. Just sweet to see those and to see them produce, see them get the opportunities, take advantage of it. If JK was emotional on the sideline, man, like that tells you the turmoil and the pain that he went through to be out, watch his team perform. And he's a young guy. The season he had in 2020 was amazing. What he did with the limited opportunities he got was incredible. And then not to be able to play last year, and that's a guy who should be JK should be a 20 carry a game guy in a league that doesn't do that with anyone unless your name is Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. That's who I think J.K. Dobbins is talent-wise. And Gus ain't far off it, I think it's 1A and 1A. I don't think it's 1 and 2. Let me know what you guys think of the video. I know it went on really long, but that run game, 215 yards, that offensive line, that those concepts they were using, especially the gap concepts were working. Stretch stuff, not so much. Inconsistent. Gus had a 5-yard. Dobbins had a 15-yard. I think we had a 4-yard on it. I think we had a 0, a -1, and a 2. I think we ran stretch 5 times, so maybe I included 1 too many there. Maybe it was 5 or maybe it was 6, but I think 5. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the breakdown. I'm sure that I missed certain elements of particular plays in terms of guys blocking or doing certain things. I like that we didn't do too much read option with the backup quarterback and the third-string quarterback. However, we did do one that I think was needless that I guess I should have shown. We should just be giving the ball to Gus and Dobbins in some of those third-down situations and not asking anything special of our backup quarterback. nor putting him at risk like we did on that 3rd and 3 that actually did get him hurt. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, let me know, and please consider sharing it on social media to help the video get more reach.